The people Margaret sent out quickly delivered the plague prevention prescription to the three princes. After receiving the formula, each prince reacted differently. Li Wenxing was naturally overjoyed. He immediately sought out two expert physicians to verify the prescription, and they gave it high praise. He then began implementing it without delay, brewing the medicine and administering it to infected patients. Though it couldn't completely cure them, it could at least alleviate the symptoms and slow the progression of the illness. At a time when every second mattered, this level of effectiveness was already a tremendous help to him. As for Li Guanglong, upon receiving the prescription, he couldn't immediately determine its authenticity, especially since no one in his entourage could make sense of it. So, with a mindset of trying anything in desperate times, he decided to test it out. To his surprise, the prescription proved highly effective. Without hesitation, Li Guanglong began distributing the remedy and purchased large quantities of the necessary herbs. However, what he didn't expect was that the medicine, which he had ordered to be distributed freely, ended up in the hands of corrupt officials in Lin City, and everything changed. Those officials took the opportunity to profit, selling the herbal medicine at exorbitant prices. The news about the plague spreading through Lin City had already leaked, and now with the officials' actions, panic only escalated. As a result, everyone who heard the rumors rushed to hoard medicine. The wealthy and powerful monopolized the market, stockpiling herbs and reselling them at astronomical prices. In such chaos, not only did ordinary people fail to prevent infection, but even patients suffering from the plague couldn't get treatment in time. Anyone wanting the herbs had to pay dozens, sometimes hundreds, of times the original price. If you had no money, you could only wait to die at home. Under this rampant corruption, not only did Li Guanglong fail to contain the plague, he ended up with a terrified, suffering populace, all crying out in despair. By the time he received reports of what was happening, Lin City was already in turmoil. Furious, Li Guanglong immediately ordered the execution of over a dozen officials who had profited from the disaster. He also had wealthy speculators, those who took advantage of the national crisis to hoard and resell the medicine, arrested and thrown in prison. It was only under this severe punishment that the rampant corruption was finally curbed. However, with so many officials arrested, the local administration fell into partial paralysis, which only allowed the plague to spread further. Li Guanglong was now completely overwhelmed, running himself ragged. As for Li Juntang, his situation was much more stable. Not only did he bring his own medical team, but on the day he arrived in Liyang City, he immediately dispatched his trusted aides to monitor the officials and issued them strict warnings. So when the plague began to spread, most of the officials in Liyang cooperated fully. Unlike Li Wenxing and Li Guanglong, after receiving the prescription, Li Juntang did not rush to use it right away. Instead, he had his medical team continue developing their own antidote. This wasn't just out of suspicion, he had other reasons for doing so. The night passed quickly. The next morning, while Margaret was inspecting patients at the factory hospital, Sulan suddenly walked in. "Boss, we've captured Pei Nan. Would you like to interrogate her?" Sulan asked. "Well done. Lead the way." Margaret nodded. The outbreak in Puching had started because of this woman named Pei Nan. Naturally, Margaret wasn't going to let her go without a thorough questioning. "This way, boss," Sulan said, without further words, and led Margaret out the door. They passed through several security checkpoints before arriving at a secluded hut. The area around the hut was under strict lockdown, guarded by multiple teams of soldiers to prevent any unauthorized access. Creak! Sulan pushed open the metal door of the hut. Sunlight spilled in, instantly brightening the previously dark interior. Margaret stepped inside and saw a young woman tied securely to a chair. The woman was quite beautiful and slender, with a harmless-looking appearance. If someone didn't know her background, they would easily let their guard down. "Remove her blindfold," Margaret ordered. Sulan gestured, and a soldier wearing a hazmat suit and gas mask stepped forward and pulled off the black cloth covering the woman's eyes. As light hit her eyes, Pei Nan instinctively squinted for a while before her vision returned to normal. "You're Pei Nan?" Margaret asked coldly. "Who are you people? Why have you brought me here?" "I haven't done anything wrong," Pei Nan replied, looking frightened and uneasy. "We're government officials. We've already investigated your background thoroughly, so drop the act," Margaret said with a blank expression. "Government officials? Why arrest me? I haven't committed any crimes." You must have the wrong person. Pei Nan looked shocked. Enough! This act is getting boring. Do you think shedding a few tears and pretending to be innocent will make us let you go? Su Lan snapped coldly. I really don't know what you're talking about. Are you kidnappers? I'm poor, you won't get any ransom from me. Pei Nan said weakly, trying to act pitiful. Oh, still pretending? Fine. Looks like you won't speak unless we give you a reason to. Su Lan lost all patience and immediately gave the order. Guards! Use force!
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tight, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care. Now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place.